Staples Center in Los Angeles. It's the Pacific Division leading Los Angeles Kings taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Dave Strader along with Pierre McGuire, our man inside the glass. Glad you're with us here tonight. Anze Kopitar, he of the recent 8-year, $80 million extension. Out here with the top line, along with Tyler Toffoli and Milan Lucic off his one-game suspension, going up against the fourth line of the Avalanche with John Mitchell between Cody McLeod and Jack Skilly. And we are underway here in Los Angeles as it's played ahead by Boschman and down wide of Quick, and it will be an early icing.
And it's going to be very important for Colorado to get off to a good start in this game. When we were visiting with some of their players earlier this afternoon, the one thing that they talked about is they were out of rhythm last night at the start of their game with San Jose. They need to be a lot better and more in rhythm, Dave, if they're going to have a good start.
Face off to the left of Calvin Pickard, starting his second consecutive game. Didn't finish the game last night. He was one of a couple of Avs players that came down with flu-like symptoms. See if he can finish this one here tonight as the puck in deep behind Quick. Doughty gets to it. Off the stick it to Foley. Poked out to the line, sent right back in toward the LA goal. It's steered aside by McNabb, picked up by Doughty. Goes off the stick, but recovered now by Kopitar, who pushes it ahead, middle of the ice for Toffoli. His long wrist shot was blocked. Following up is Kopitar, now Toffoli tried to whip it quickly out in front, comes all the way to the near point. Muzzin, who just checked in, got a shot in on Pickard, who steered to the side with the right shoulder. Jammed up along the near boards in the Colorado zone. Final game before the All-Star break in the entire league as the puck is cleared back out to center ice by the Avs. Alec Martinez back to get it. Both teams making changes as Martinez out of his own zone. We're going to step aside here and be silent for a few moments while we wait for our national TV audience. All right, Kenny, thanks very much. Little overtime action in the first game of the doubleheader. We're just underway here at Staples Center. Dave Strader along with Pierre McGuire. It's the Avalanche and the Kings' third and final meeting of this season series. The home team has won the first two meetings. And Dave Strader along with Pierre McGuire. Pierre, these teams have something in common, both coming off games against San Jose in San Jose. Last night it was the Avs here right on NBCSN. Losing a tough one to San Jose. A little bit of flu-like symptoms going through the Colorado locker room. And, of course, the Kings a couple of days before that with a thrilling overtime win in San Jose.
And Baron Gabrick with the game-winning goal in that game Sunday night in San Jose.
Now Schenn and Duchesne get tied up deep in the LA zone. Duchesne spins off the check, tried to center it. It was blocked. Luke Schenn plays it up the far side. Goes off the skate of Vinny Lecavalier. Now backhanded right in on Quick. He puts the glove over it and holds on. They get the whistle. Let's take a look at the numbers for our starting goalies presented by Honda. And it will be Calvin Pickard, his second game in as many nights. He started last night in San Jose, didn't finish. One of several Avalanche players affected by that flu bug. But getting the nod here again tonight and going to the All-Star game in Nashville for the second time will be Jonathan Quick. And getting a nod here tonight, trying to break a personal two-game losing streak. As he'll take this face-off now to the left of Quick. It is controlled and out to center ice where Nolan will backhand it in along. Behind Pickard, who plays it up the far boards. Blocked by Jordan Nolan, who jumps back into the lineup. A couple of minor tweaks to the lineup from the last game by Daryl Sutter. As it's off the glove of Nolan and out to center ice, and Pearson sends it back into his own zone for Drew Doughty. And Pierre will say his name a lot. He is on the ice virtually every other shift.
Yeah, he's been a fantastic player his entire career, but especially this year.
Pearson with a long-range wrist shot, and Pickard able to hang on to that. Watch every NHL game live online, on mobile or on tablet, and now on connected TVs with NBC Sports Live Extra. Download the app and go to NBCSports.com/Live Extra. Watch the biggest events anytime, anywhere.
Now for Patrick Roy, Dave, when you and I were talking to him before the game, the one thing he wants to see from his team, instant energy. He wants them to be hard on people. That's what he's telling Wagner right now on the bench. Be hard on people all the time.
Well, they got off to the slow start last night, never could recover. And that loss up in San Jose is Cody McLeod will play it ahead. It's blocked center ice by Muzzin. Turned right back by Milan Lucic. Back in the lineup after serving his one-game suspension. Here's Martinez now backhanding it down to the corner. Kopitar. High slot for a chance for Toffoli. Good stop there by Pickard. That's a terrific scoring opportunity for one of the more dangerous shooters on this Los Angeles team. And now it's recovered in front by Eric Johnson and played ahead for Skilly. Jack Skilly will just send it deep. And look for a line change as the Kings coming out of their own zone. Lucic left wing side. Tries to send it across. It was blocked by Tyson Barrie. Held in by the Avs. Recovered though by Kopitar. He'll hand it off to Muzzin. And Muzzin will turn back now, waiting for the Kings to complete the change. Martinez sends it along. Good step up by Barrie. He read that. Brings it back the other way. Barrie moving in close. Pulls the trigger. Save quick. And he hangs on before the Avs could get to the loose puck.
One end it's Tyler Toffoli ripping one on Pickard. At the other end it's Tyson Barrie. Tyson Barrie does a real nice job intercepting this backhand pass through the neutral zone by Martinez. Great read by Tyson Barrie, and he shows his skill, his speed, and his dexterity, snapping that on Jonathan Quick, who's quick to freeze the rebound.
Barrie, one of the top scoring defensemen in the National Hockey League, comes with 8 goals, 32 points into this one. As Luke Schenn plays it along the near boards, it's intercepted by Barrie. He takes it all the way down to the goal line, makes a move on Schenn. Now it's picked up by Soderberg. Carl Soderberg kicks it to his stick, trying to put it out front. Picked off by Dustin Brown, who circled back behind his own net. And the LA captain playing on a line with Jeff Carter in the middle and Marian Gaborik on the left wing side. Brown recovers the loose puck. Pickard forced to make the save. The days of the blue pants holds it there. And the tempers get a little bit short here.
Well, Dustin Brown can always skate. He knows how to find the back of the net when he's moving his feet, shooting the puck while moving his feet. There's not a lot of traffic there, so it's a routine save for Pickard, but you see the comfort zone that Dustin Brown has when he's moving his feet. He can create a lot of space for himself. Nice job by Pickard to make sure there's no rebound.
Well, the face-off to Pickard's left. Cavalier wins the draw. He's been great in the face-off circle for the most part since coming over from the Flyers. Blake King with a long-range shot that's blocked up high on the glass. Recovered by Lewis. Gets it out in front. Pickard the save. Held his ground now. Cavalier, the late hero in the overtime win. At least in terms of getting it to overtime. The late regulation goal by Cavalier. And it comes right back to number 44. Takes a look. He sees he's got some help coming. Cavalier cutting in. Hands it off the King. Save made. Rebound. Chance. Pickard was down. He's getting some help in the crease area by Nick Holden, the defenseman who went down on both knees. Now he's pushed along by Lewis. Back in deep for Cavalier again. A little pass to himself off the back of the net. Crowd oohing and eyeing on that. And here's McNabb pulling the trigger. That's blocked by Grigorenko. And it's back out to center ice. And that line for the Avs will change. But Doughty quickly on the counterattack. Lost it. And it's recovered by Bednarchuk, who plays it ahead. It's intercepted center ice and fired right back in by Nick Shore. Muzzin will chase it down for the Kings. Gets deep on the angle and a save by Pickard. Covers up as Shore and Bednarchuk jousting a bit.
Everybody's wondering how Vinny Lecavalier found the fountain of youth here in Los Angeles. Well, he's playing in confined areas, and he's also utilizing his hockey brain. Nice little pump fake, gets it out front, and a great chance for Dwight King. I mean, it's a real nice job of being an opportunist for Lecavalier. Unselfishly puts it out to King, and Pickard has been a story early on here for Colorado.
Boy, they'd love Vinny to kind of pick up the role of Mike Richards, as a long-range shot here is off the stick of Martinez, deflects up high on the glass. Now it's taken by the Kings again as they're asserting themselves physically in the Colorado zone. The puck comes free, chopped to the high slot, off the stick of Pearson, and skated away. Martinson sends it ahead. Now Wagner, picked up on waivers earlier this season from Anaheim, played it in deep, but the Kings move it back down the ice, and this will go for icing against Los Angeles. Well, Calvin Pickard, second start in as many nights as I mentioned. Many of you may know the Avs regular starting goalie Semyon Varlamov missing his second straight game. He is back in Denver for a civil court case brought against him stemming from the alleged domestic assault of his ex-girlfriend back in 2013. As Darren Dreger reported earlier on our air, the NHL, of course, is closely monitoring the situation. Faceoff controlled by the Kings in their own zone. Angle off the boards, Jordan Nolan. On the far boards, had it knocked off his stick by McKinnon. It's recovered now by Eric Johnson, who rushes it back now into the LA zone for Duchesne, and that play is offside. And as Duchesne kind of takes a look, but I think Johnson was the one that went off.
You know, Dave, you talked about Los Angeles being physical. 4 things you need to do if you're going to play for Daryl Sutter. Win races, have good board play, and win slot area battles at both ends of the ice. We've already seen that start. Los Angeles is winning races and then winning slot area battles, especially in front of Calvin Pickard.
Yeah, talking to Daryl this morning at their practice facility over in El Segundo, and he said, you know, quite honestly, we're not doing that much different than we did last year when we did make the playoffs, but we're getting points beyond regulation. He's a big fan, Pierre, of the 3-on-3.
I don't think you hear too many people say they don't like the 3-on-3.
Absolutely. Loose puck picked up here by Mitchell, tries to get it to the front as Gilly was coming in.
See the value of Kopitar right there, coming back, insulating his defense, and look how quickly Los Angeles can counterattack.
Lucic brought it into the zone. Here's Kopitar with it. Puts on the brakes against Boschman. Back to the line. Luke Shen, long-range shot blocked by Johnson, but picked up. Toffoli sends it in front. Lucic was stopped by Pickard. Nice play in tight by the Kings. And Pickard has had to be sharp here 2 or 3 times. So whatever was ailing him yesterday in San Jose appears to be a little bit better. And Erik Johnson, he only got it to his own blue line and sent it down the ice for icing.
Yeah. Slot area battles again. Kopitar stops, pulls up, gives it back to Luke Shen, who puts it on goal. It's blocked by Johnson, but look how quickly Los Angeles is able to regain the puck. But it all starts with this defensive play by Anze Kopitar. He comes back, takes the puck away from Johnny Mitchell, transitions it. That's how quick Los Angeles is out of their zone. Great play by Kopitar.
Kings control the draw. Now it comes to the high slot. A chance here for Dustin Brown. Blocked up high on the glass. Carter trying to chase it down. He'll pick it up on the near wall. Backhands it along. Braden McNabb hands it off. Here's Gabrick. A little saucer pass intended for Brown. Tipped back deep where it's picked up by Carter. Now Gabrick centering pass comes off the far side. Drew Doughty has it. Doughty hands it off below the goal line now for Gabrick. The overtime hero in San Jose. Now it comes back to Doughty. Drew Doughty carries it out toward the line, hands it off for a long one-timer. Off the stick, loose in front of Pickard, but cleared aside by Erik Johnson. Not out of the zone. McNabb now to Doughty again. Nice spin move as he's knocked down, and a penalty coming here against the Colorado Avalanche. He may not agree, but he's going to the box. LA up on the power play when we come back. CSN is brought to you by Kraft Hockeyville. Nominate your local rink at crafthockeyville.com. By Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League. And by SAP. Visit NHL.com/stats with insights from SAP.
Well, Dave, this is close to Hollywood. Recent movie, The Hateful Eight. Skilly's 8, Doughty's 8. Down goes Doughty, to the box goes Skilly. Quentin Tarantino, what would he say, Dave?
Well, he might have to say at this point that the power play is presented by Sears, because that's what we have to do here with the LA Kings going on the first man advantage.
And look what Daryl Sutter does right away. LeCavalier wins a draw. Where does he go? Right to the net. Simplify everything for Vinny LeCavalier. Give him a roll and simplify it.
Here's Doughty, hammers a puck that's blocked, and it jumps over the stick of Carter. 3 of the 4 goals that LeCavalier has scored since becoming an LA King have come with a man advantage as Muzzin holds in a Colorado clearing attempt, goes along the far wall. King set it up with the man advantage. Gabrick out to Doughty. Didn't have a shooting lane, sends it across for Gabrick. A little return pass, but it slid off his stick. And Blake Como is going to buy a little time, hands it off on the far side, but it's knocked off the stick of Soderberg. Avalanche can be dangerous short-handed, as the Dallas Stars found out over the weekend, with a couple of short-handed goals in a 3-1 win against the Stars, as Doughty plays it ahead now for Carter. Near side for Muzzin. Tried the quick return pass that was blocked, and it's sent down the ice by John Mitchell, and Quick will stop it there.
Interference against Los Angeles. Milan Lucic. Francis Sharon caught him right by the offensive blue line. Lucic will go, and it's all evened up. Watch Milan Lucic pick off right there on Boschman, and that allows access for Tyler Toffoli, and Francis Sharon makes the right call.
Francis Sharon, Graham Skillett are the referees tonight. Jay Scherer's David Berg, the linesman, and this will even things up with still 1:07 remaining in the Jack Skilly minor penalty. So 4 skaters aside. Well, it's been a great pace and great start for the LA Kings, Pierre.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, they're establishing the things that Daryl Sutter wants them to establish. And they're trying to plant a seed of doubt on this fatigued Colorado team. The fact that Colorado's still in this thing says a lot about Calvin Pickard and the way he's played.
Few issues with the clock here at Staples Center. That's why the delay. I think they have it figured out. So a face-off to the left of Quick. Four skaters aside. It's controlled by Kopitar, but chased down in the corner. He has to get to it first. Now out to the line. Holden, puck was in his skates, but he managed to keep it in the LA zone. Along the boards now Toffoli. Slaps it back in deep. Martinez picks it up. Back to Toffoli. Giveaway. Holden with a drive and a save made by Quick. Recovered by Toffoli. He starts it back the other way. A little flip pass for Kopitar trying to split the defense. And that play was whistled offside. A little tough to hear the whistle. Well, the NHL All-Star Weekend heads to Nashville, Pierre, as you know, where hockey meets honky-tonk. The biggest names in the Bata Skills compete in the 2016 Honda NHL All-Star Weekend. Coverage begins Friday at 8 Eastern here on NBC SN. I imagine legends and Tootsies might be a little bit crowded. As
I think Broadway will be full hockey fans, yeah. Especially those two establishments you just spoke of.
Oh, yeah. A quick peek at Jonathan Quick, who will represent Los Angeles. Matt Duchene, both of them playing in their second All-Star game. Duchene from the Avalanche having a terrific season. Nate McKinnon now moves it along, but it's picked up by the Kings. Deep in their own zone, Muzzin able to move it away from Barry, but it's picked up now by Duchene. Duchene trying to drop it back to Barry. And along the boards by Kopitar. And Kopitar skates it back through center ice. Right wing feed off the Karen, picked up by Doughty. He's in for the backhand. He scores!
And now you know why Anze Kopitar just signed an 8-year, $80 million deal, takes the puck out of his own zone, elevates the puck cross ice to Drew Doughty. He goes around Nick Holden, and he finds a way to fool Calvin Pickard. Drew Doughty probably going to be a Norris Trophy nominee and potentially a Norris Trophy winner, and there's an example of why. So consistent. Dave, last year he was averaging 29 minutes per game. This year he's averaging 28, and he looks a lot quicker and a lot fresher.
Well, that was one of the things that Daryl Sutter talked about this morning as well, with the addition of Luke Schenn and being able to take not just minutes away, Pierre, but hard minutes away from a top guy like Drew Doughty. A minute and a half, 2 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but as you know, if you're taking away penalty killing and hard defensive minutes, you pay dividends.
Yeah, and you have to remember, too, he's a targeted player. Every game he plays, everybody goes after him, tries to pile drive through the boards.
I believe that Doughty goal will be officially a shorthanded goal. It came just as the Skilly penalty expired. And so the Avs go to work here with the man advantage. As the puck is cleared to the line, but taken by Eric Johnson. He sends it across. Boschman tees it up, and a save by Quick at the right shoulder on it as Landeskog was providing a screen. And it's sent all the way down into the Colorado zone. Now the penalty to Lucic is over as the net behind Pickard came off, but they're not going to blow it dead yet as the Avs are moving it up the ice. And it's flipped in wide and Quick. Pickard looked like he thought about trying to put the net back in its spot, but he's not going to do that as play continues. Now McLeod moves it along. And they're going to put an extra attacker on. This is pretty...
It's Patrick Waugh.
Yeah, that's very interesting because obviously they can't score into that net that's off the moorings. I thought there may have been a delayed penalty, but that's not the case. That's Patrick Waugh being Patrick Waugh. This is Drew Doughty being Drew Doughty. Another All-Star. Makes it 1-0.
Coach, what have you liked so far from your group?
Good start. Move pucks quick down here. Try and break that forecheck in neutral zone. You know, get that 1D back and 3 across. So you got to get past and try and forecheck. Score a big goal. We've had lots of shots. You want to direct pucks at their goal. You've done a good job.
Can you explain why it's been so easy for LeCavalier and Schenn to fit in here?
I think probably style of play and making sure you give them an opportunity. I mean, it's a pretty easy team to play on in terms of the locker room, I think.
Thanks a lot, Dirk.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Well spoken as usual by Daryl Sutter as the Kings on the counterattack here and getting some deep penetration into the Colorado zone. Pickard able to make the glove save. So Doughty's 10th of the year from Kopitar at .931. Right now on the official stat sheet, they have it as an even strength 4-on-4 goal because it came right as the Skilly penalty it ended. But the other interesting word that he used there, Pierre, was opportunity. Not only giving LeCavalier and Schenn a chance to play, but LeCavalier is up, 3.5 minutes a game compared to what he was playing when he did get in the lineup in Philly.
And you know, he never pouted. Talking to Dave Haxtell, the fine young coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, said one of the ultimate gentlemen he's ever met in hockey, Vinny LeCavalier, and the way he handled himself in Philadelphia. And that speaks to what he's doing here. He didn't quit on himself. That's why he's able to make the adjustment to playing so well here in Los Angeles.
Oshman from behind his own net didn't connect on the outlet pass as Dustin Brown jams it right back into the left of Pickard. Eric Johnson has it there as we approach 8.5 remaining here in the first period. 1-0 Los Angeles. Third and final meeting between these two teams. The home team has won the first two. LA winning here early in the season 2-1. The Avs winning in early January in Denver by a score of 4-1. A game in which Tyson Barrie figured in on all the goals, 2 goals, 2 assists. Kopitar hands it off Lucic up the left wing side into the Colorado zone. Drops it back for Kopitar. Spins off his check. Now sends it back to the line. Here's Luke Schenn. Didn't have a shooting lane initially. Tried to jam it through. Ended up off the end boards. Recovered by Barrie. He chips it ahead. And Blake Como just trying to get it out. He does. And Soderberg starts it back the other way. Now Soderberg rolls it in deep. Chris Wagner in there on the, Landeskog on the forecheck as well as Landeskog sends it out to the line. Very long range shot tipped just wide. Soderberg was in front. Now recovered by Landeskog back in deep. It rolls behind quick. Around on the near side. Barrie comes down from the right point. Lucic, though, able to knock it free. And Luke Schenn lifts it high in the air, and it's knocked down by Nick Holden as the Kings trying to very quickly make the change. With the counterattack coming from the Avalanche. Here's Como. Tried to beat it to the high slot. Good stick by Lewis, but a good stick by Como as Lewis looked around the referee. He thought there was a penalty. You know what? He's right.
Como's going to get called. Francis Sharon calls it for a high stick. And you see a little battle. Forced turnover right there. And then the stick comes up and gets Trevor Lewis right in the side of the shield. It's Blake Como's stick. 2 guys from Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan in this game. Patrick Roy has one of them, Blake Como, and Daryl Sutter has the other one, Dwight King. 4,000 people from that town, Dave. 3 times the Stanley Cup has visited there.
Boy, that's great stuff.
Once with Jeff Friesen when the New Jersey Devils won, and twice with Dwight King.
Out to the line, Doughty. Power play for the Los Angeles Kings. Their first one was cut short when Lucic took that interference penalty. Here's a shot from the far circle that's blocked. Right back to the high slot. Doughty gets it back to Kopitar. Pulls the trigger. Pickard able to make the save as Holden quickly getting in along with Cody McLeod on Lucic, who throws the right hand at Cody McLeod.
And McLeod's not going to back down. He was a real rugged customer when he played for Portland in the Western Hockey League, and he basically fought his way into the NHL and has really established a solid career. He's a proud guy. So is Milan Lucic, and you see him trying to get into the face of Calvin Pickard and take away his eyes. Good job by Drew Doughty. And then Kopitar through a screen. Pickard fights it off. And look at Lucic. He's not going to move at all. He's just trying to plant the seed of doubt for those defensemen. It's going to be a long night, boys.
Face off to the left of the Colorado goal with 1:40 remaining still on this LA power play. Doughty hands it off on the far side. Kopitar calmly back to the line. Muzzin moves it back to Kopitar inside the top of the circle. Goes back to Muzzin. Right back out to Kopitar high slot. Pulls the trigger again. It's blocked. That stung Oshman, but the puck comes out to center ice. The Kings have to retreat to regroup, and now they got to go back into their own zone to get it. Kopitar has it. Still 1:10 remaining in the Blake Como minor penalty. Kopitar knocked off the puck by Boschman. Soderberg tries to clear it. Off the stick and Toffoli picked up from Martinez. Goes off the stick and just over the head of Calvin Pickard. Now it comes to Doughty on the near side. Drew Doughty looks toward the front of the net. Trying to get the cross zone pass, but it wasn't there, and the Avs able to clear. He pulls away from Landeskog. Starts it out of the LA zone, plays it ahead for Carter, doesn't connect, and that's going to be icing as a disappointed Doughty slams the stick.
You know, Milan Lucic has already been suspended here in Los Angeles. You got to be careful in this situation. Watch what happens as he throws the hands out. That's Jay Scherer's linesman, that gets it right in the mouth. And you just see that at the end. You got to be real careful if you're Milan Lucic in those kinds of situations. And let me tell you, as tough as Milan is, Jay Scherer's is really tough, Dave. I'm telling you right now.
He's been around a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's in shape.
Oh, yeah.
Lecavalier able to fend off McLeod as he got it into the zone. Avs get a stick on it, but it's recovered by Lecavalier. Back to the right point, Martinez walks the line, looks to his right, sends it toward the net. It got through. Pickard had it and then lost it, but the Avs able to get to it and send it down the ice. Down to 15 seconds remaining. And the Colorado penalty is Gaborik across the line. Takes it down to the hash marks, delivers it back to the point. Ehrhoff with it. Back for Gaborik. Gaborik in tight. A centering feed by Carter. He thought he had somebody on the other side of the crease. Now here's Lecavalier with it. Fakes. And now Como out of the box, able to come back and make the defensive play, and he'll turn it back the other way. On the counterattack for the Avalanche, Como drops it off. Erik Johnson was checked on the back check by Gaborik, who then takes a hit from Martinson.
One of the things you have to do to play for Darryl, Dave, win races. Gaborik just did.
Tyson Barrie out near the line. Couldn't get much on the shot as he was being checked. It's poked to the near board. Recovered, though, by the Avs. High slot. Here's Bigrov with a chance, and it sailed just wide. Quick was screened on that play. Now in deep for Como. Off his stick. Ehrhoff steps in front of him. Spins away from the pressure of number 14 for the Avalanche. Martinez for Carter. He sends it across. And circling back is Gaborik. Under pressure there from Tyson Barrie. But the Avs with an important penalty kill to keep this a one-goal game. Long-range shot off the right pad of Pickard, picked up now by Jordan Nolan. He tries to get control. Now the Colorado player went down. That was Bednarchuk as the puck comes through. Pickard the save. He wasn't quite sure that he had it as he looked over his left shoulder, and Tippers get a little bit short. But Drew Doughty's goal standing up so far here in the first.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. The Kings lead 1-0. They're out shooting Colorado 16-4. Jake Muzzin, this is a 16 shot. Watch that deflection from Tanner Pearson. What a response from Calvin Pickard. It should probably be 3-0 right now. Pickard's played outstandingly well for Colorado in goal.
He has been terrific indeed in the absence, as we mentioned earlier, of Varlamov. And with a young kid, Roman Will, who made his NHL debut last night in relief on the bench. They need Pickard to be strong here tonight. Muzzin sends it across. Long-range attempt by Luke Schenn is knocked down. Recovered in front by Mitchell. Backhands it to Skilly. Hands it off Boschman, and now McLeod tips it back for Mitchell, who will skate it into the LA zone. Takes it wide on Muzzin, put on the break, but Muzzin knocked it away and clears it back out to center ice. Over in front of the LA bench, a battle there, and Jordan Nolan got a stick on it, but the puck recovered by Bigrov, and he'll roll it back in behind Quick. Settles it down for Muzzin. Off the boards now for Schenn. Sends it ahead. It's off of Kopitar, but he reaches back and makes a safe play to the near boards. And then Muzzin able to play it back inside the Colorado line. Bigrov backhands it out center ice, where it's recovered by the Kings. McNabb slides it across. Doughty sent it ahead. It's blocked by Duchesne, who rolls it right back into the LA zone. We're under 3 minutes now remaining here in the first period. Second game of our doubleheader here on NBCSN. Flyers winning in overtime over the Capitals in the first game. As McKinnon sends it around, Grigorenko picks it up on the far board, tries to dump it back for Duchesne. Kopitar steps in front of Duchesne, now jams up along the far boards. Grigorenko gets it free. Tried to feed it out to the slot, but it's picked off by Milan Lucic. He'll start it back down. Nice feed for Toffoli, cutting in with a hard shot. Save Pickard, and he holds it there. Tyler Toffoli. Nice feed there from Lucic.
Last 2 years a junior for Tyler Toffoli, 57 and 52 goals. Last year in the NHL, 23. Great job by Milan Lucic. Get it, move it. Toffoli, speed, skill, engage. Pickard rips it out of the air. That's a great feed from Lucic, keeping it on side, and Toffoli with the quick release. Imagine those numbers, though, Dave. Think about it, 52, 57, and 23 last year in the NHL.
Scoring chances we have at 11-2 for the Los Angeles Kings. So it's not just the shots that are piling up. They are getting some quality opportunities against Calvin Pickard, who has been the Avs' best player. He's had to be here in this first period. Beaten only by the breakaway of Drew Doughty at 9:31 from Kopitar as the puck is sent back in behind Quick on the far side. Gets by Gabbert, picked up by Holden. His shot off an LA stick. Now recovered by Como, but it's swept past. Holden will have to go back into the Colorado zone to pick it up. Now from behind his own net. Off the stick, recovered by LeCavalier. Flips it back ahead. On the counter for Dwight King. Now up the near boards, Trevor Lewis pinned to the boards. Como contested by King, but the puck comes out to center right. Landeskog run into by Muzzin. It's pushed ahead, and here is Lewis. Sends it on the far side. LeCavalier, nice move. Sends it to the front. They score! LeCavalier sends up Trevor Lewis. Terrific play by the veteran LeCavalier. It's 2-0.
The Western Conference better buckle up. These guys are starting to understand what they have to do. They're big, they're furious, they don't quit on plays. Forward play through the neutral zone, good step up, quick transition, Dwight King to Trevor Lewis, over to Vinny LeCavalier. LeCavalier through his legs, backhand feed, Trevor Lewis to the back of the net. Watch the skill, LeCavalier, backhand feed, beats Holden to the net for Trevor Lewis, 2-0. All started with great neutral zone play by Los Angeles, especially on the boards.
Ginla now back into the LA end. Right pass saved by Quick. He comes out to Eric Johnson for a shot. That hit a teammate in front, I believe, Martinson. And it's back out to center ice where Lucic hands it off to Kopitar. Still better than a minute remaining here in the first. Kopitar drops it back. Doughty leans into one, but he fanned on it on the heel of the stick. Martinson gets it to a Ginla, pushes it ahead now for Wagner. Wagner closing in, tried to feed it through. It was blocked by McNabb, who timed his drop to the ice perfectly.
Wagner tried that last night. I understand he's playing with a guy that has 602 goals, but he's got to shoot the puck.
Los Angeles goal.
Now McNabb drops it back. 40 seconds remaining in the period. Kopitar one-handing it ahead across the Colorado line, but the Avs turn it back the other way. LeCavalier and King assisting on Lewis's 5th of the year. Chased down by Skilly. Martinez stepped into him, and now the Kings. Kopitar sends it ahead for Jordan Nolan. One-on-one against Nick Holden. Into the zone. Nolan holds up. Now lets the wrist shot go and just missed it on the glove side. Muzzin rolls it back in deep. Recovered by Nolan. Back out to the right point for Martinez. He backhands it along. Final 5 seconds of this period. Can't end quickly enough for the Colorado Avalanche, who've gotten a terrific performance from their goaltender, but not enough. Facing 18 shots and about a dozen quality chances. Stay tuned for the Lexus Intermission Report. Liam McHugh, Mike Milbury, Keith Jones. The Kings capitalized early, and a controversial hit in Calgary, where the Flames are playing the Predators in the last game for those two teams before the All-Star break. Here in Los Angeles at the end of 20, the Kings dominating, and they lead it 2-0. Our first intermission right after this. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light, and by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. Back in Los Angeles, Dave Strader along with Pierre McGuire want to send along our best wishes to Bob Miller, the Hall of Fame voice of the LA Kings in his 43rd season, is going to take a medical leave of absence, scheduled to have open heart bypass surgery. Certainly wish him and his wife Judy all the best during this, and a speedy recovery for Bob. One bit of advice, Bob, because I went through this about 25 years ago. Don't hurry back. Get strong, get well, and be ready for a playoff run with these Los Angeles Kings.
That's really well said. Everybody's thinking of Bob in the hockey community.
Kopitar back inside his own zone for the LA Kings, who lead 2-0. 18-5 advantage in shots on goal as this long-range wrister delivered by Kopitar goes off the glass behind Pickard. Picked up on the far side by Skilly, and he skips it along and back out to center ice. They did officially change the scoring on the Doughty goal to a shorthanded tally, which I thought they would. Took them a little time to figure it out, but they listed as a shorthanded tally as the puck comes down between the circles, where it is taken by Duchesne. He cuts to the side, scores from the angle. Duchesne put it right through Jonathan Quick, and that's exactly what the Avalanche needed just 42 seconds in.
And this is what makes them so dangerous. Quick, straight offensive capabilities, and that's the key guy right there. Matt Duchene will be going to the All-Star game, grinding down low, little turnover situation by the Los Angeles Kings, and then watch Duchene go to work. She's going to stop, pop, and launch it on goal around Braden McNabb. You see the stop, the pop, and then the quick release. That's what makes Duchene such an effective scorer. You should see the setup he has at his house in Halliburton, Ontario. He's got an amazing gym and a shooting area. I don't know of any player in the league that has that kind of setup at their house.
23rd of the season for Duchene, closing in on a career high as this puck off the end boards handled by Pickard. And how about the adjustment Duchene has made, Pierre, going from the middle of the ice to the wing?
Well, I think it's fantastic. And I think one of the things he learned when he was part of Team Canada in Sochi is the great players learn how to adapt. He used to come out here a lot in the summer times and train with Sidney Crosby here in California. But after building his monstrous-sized gym at his house, he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to Ontario in the summers, spend some time with my family and train there. And that's what he does.
So the Avalanche, on just their 6th shot of the game, have cut the Kings lead in half as Carter lobs it far corner of the Avalanche zone. Pickard plays it back up the far side for Jerome McGinley. He's pressured over there. And the puck comes free, recovered by Holden. Hands it off now for Duchene on the left wing side. He'll drop it back to the right defenseman, Barry, jumping up into the play. Off of his stick and recovered by Martinez. Now Muzzin for Trevor Lewis, whose goal now is the difference in the game. Set up beautifully by LeCavalier. And it's interesting to hear Keith Jones and Mike Milbury talk about the remarkable turnaround of LeCavalier since putting on this LA Kings uniform as Duchene center ice. Blocked by LeCavalier. He tries to play it ahead off the stick of Luke Schenn. And recovered now by Landeskog. And the young Colorado captain skates it back and slides it across. Now back to Landeskog up the middle of the ice. Lead pass, deflected, picked up. Here's Soderberg cutting in, trying to get control. Poked away by Quick. And it ends up in the far corner, taken by Shore, and a penalty coming, a hooking call. Quite a start here, Pierre, to this second period for Colorado.
Yeah, and Aronoff's going to be called for this one. He just loses where he is on the ice. He gets beat to the inside part of the ice right there. A streaking Soderberg from his skate to his stick. He just can't find the handle at the tail end of the play. But you see how he kicks it up, not once but twice, and then just active stick by Jonathan Quick bats it away from Soderberg. That's a bad read by Christian Ehrhoff in the neutral zone.
No power play for Colorado. Their first one, a short one, not successful as this draw controlled by Kopitar, and Doughty able to send it down the ice. And Pickard settles it down there for Beauchemin. Doughty and Lewis in the first period for the Kings. Duchene early here in the second for the Avalanche. It's a 2-1 LA lead. Final game on the NHL schedule prior to the All-Star break. And Doughty will play it ahead. Here's Kopitar across the line. Top of the circle, darts to the middle, knocked off his stick. And coming back to pick it up is Soderberg for the Avs. Being pressured all the way by Shore, who knocked it off his stick. Good work there by number 21 of the Kings. And it's cleared back to the Colorado line. Beauchemin for Iginla. Far side for Grigorenko. He'll drop it back. Como to the line. Beauchemin, did he hold it in? He did. Now Iginla again. Recently joining the 600-goal club. He did it against Los Angeles on home ice back earlier in January. Down at the side of the net. Soderberg trying to pull it to the forehand, and it's gathered up there by Quick, and he will hold it.
One of the reasons why it's so hard to play against Los Angeles when they're playing like this, big body and they never quit. Watch Dustin Brown on Nathan McKinnon. Separates him from the puck. Kopitar moves in. It's up and out of the zone. Pretty good play. How about this one? Watch Nick Shore. He's going to keep coming, and he's going to force a turnover. Look, he never quits. Keeps his feet moving against Soderberg. Doughty gets it up and out of the zone. That's on a penalty kill, Dave.
Barry far side. Landeskog hands it off of the corner. It comes back out to the line. Barry for the one-timer by Erik Johnson, and Landeskog got a piece of it. And perhaps Quick did as well. It went wide as Kopitar tries to clear it. Is held in at the line by Barry. Good job by him. Duchene rocks the puck, sends it back to Barry, right point. Little backhand flip, gets it back to Duchene. Barry, the long one-timer save. Loose puck knocked away before Como could get to it. He fell over the top of Quick. who is able to get back up as the puck is still in the LA zone. Here's Landeskog with it, wrapped up by Schenn. As get it free, it comes out now to Erik Johnson. Backhands it on the far side. Duchene pulls the trigger, missed the net.
Oh, not by much, Dave. I'm right on that line.
I'm going to say you had the line to see that.
If he hits the net, that's it.
Now Duchene again out of the corner with it. Sends it across on the near side for Johnson. Ehrhoff getting set to come out of the box. He steps out, but still pressure on the LA zone. Taken here by Duchene. Duchene on the angle, missed it, trying to go short side. So the Colorado Avalanche managed 2 shots on that power play, but dangerous in some other situations where they missed the net. And they have found something coming out for this second period.
Well, it's mostly positive energy down here. Even though when they were down 2-0, it was positive energy on the Colorado bench.
Skilly for Barry off the stick of King. And on the far side by Skilly, and chased back down by Mitchell. Tyson Barrie pressured along the boards by Dustin Brown. It comes out to Carter, who took the spot at the right point. Sent around behind the Colorado net. Flipped up the far side. Bounces to the middle of the ice. And Erik Johnson will skate it back now into the LA zone. Makes a move. Backhand right in on Quick. And he was looking around like he wasn't sure where that puck was. It's on the far side now along the end boards. In behind the net. Duchene will send it back to the line. Beauchemin has the puck just skip right over his stick.
That's a little bit of bad luck for Frankie Beauchemin right there.
Now Duchene hands it off. It's off a stick, and the return pass to the front. Slid just wide. An opportunity there for the dangerous Nathan MacKinnon. Now is snapped into the boards by Iginla.
Well, good to see Iginla getting a chance to play with MacKinnon and Duchene. Usually he's been playing on the 4th line.
Here's some of the long-range shots, sent in wide of Pickard. Picked up by the Avs and played off the boards, and MacKinnon has it there. Now it goes off a skate, nearly turned over to Jordan Nolan, but a good recovery by the Avs. They got it to center ice, and a good stick there by Martinez, or the Avs may have broken down with an odd-man rush.
And it's Grigorenko that doesn't make the cut on this line with Duchene and MacKinnon. It's Iginla replacing Grigorenko.
And here's Iginla across the line, tries to feed it to MacKinnon. It's blocked, and it's back out to center ice where it's picked up by Shore. And Grigorenko started there tonight. Pierre taking the place of the veteran Alex Tanguay, who just has lost his offensive touch completely.
Yeah, it's tough back-to-back for an older player like Alex, too.
Long-range shot by Ehrhoff is blocked by the Avs out to center ice. Schenn tried to get it back, but it's sent across now where Ehrhoff will start it to center ice, gets the red line and dumps it along behind Pickard. 6.5 gone by here in the second period as Kopitar tried to drag it to his forehand, couldn't control. As the top line for Daryl Sutter trying to put some pressure now in the Colorado zone. It's out to center ice, and Kopitar has it there. Now for Luke Schenn. Sends it far side for Ehrhoff. Pushes it ahead into the Colorado zone. Holden back to get it. Pressured there by Lucic. Holden able to recover. Slides it down to the stick of Soderberg. Hands it off on the near side. Como cruises it for a shot. Rebound, give it up, they score! Landeskog picked up the juicy rebound off of Jonathan Quick. And we have a 2-2 game.
There's something to be said about guys that have some pride, and this team wasn't happy with their 6-1 loss last night in San Jose, and they looked like they were going to get steamrolled tonight, but they've started the second period so well. Tape-to-tape passing, quick release, and the juicy rebound by Jonathan Quick to the waiting Gabriel Landeskog. And look at Quick's reaction. He knows he's got to be better than that on that shot. That's a routine save opportunity, and you see him just bury his head into the ice. Wow, talk about quick strike, and Dave, that's the lethal part of Colorado. They are really lethal with quick strike offense, and we're seeing it here in the second period.
So Landeskog getting the goal. It has tied this game at 2 as Downey back inside his own line, hands it off to McNabb. McNabb to center ice, sends it in deep behind Pickard, who settles it down. Now it comes to Cody McLeod, pushes it ahead as he goes down under the pressure of Trevor Lewis. And Lewis is going to go to the box. LA is going to go on the power play with a chance to take the lead because of the smiling goal by Gabriel Landeskog.
Now Calvin Pickard starts the play. Watch Trevor Lewis, 22 in black. He's going to track on the back check. He's going to come into the body, and down goes Colorado's forward, and to the box goes Trevor Lewis. That was not a good penalty, Dave.
No.
I asked Eric Johnson, what did your coach say to you after the first period? He says, what did he have to say? We knew we weren't very good.
Deep in the LA zone, the power play for the Avalanche going to work. This is Mitchell who had the assist on the Duchesne goal. Slides it back to the line. Taken there by Beauchemin. Back to Mitchell. Out here with McKinnon, Soderberg, and Jerome McGinley. Now the puck comes free and Soderberg plays it around on the far side. Chased down. And Mitchell tried to backhand along, but it did not get by the stick of Kopitar, who slides it all the way back down behind Pickard. Now Beauchemin off the stick of Shore. And Beauchemin has to get back on it in his own zone. Hands it off to McKinnon. Plays it ahead, doesn't connect with Mitchell. Is this going to be icing? It will be icing.
Looking on St. Kopitar in the first period with his offense. How about some of the stuff he does defensively? Just so where you see him, he knows Johnny Mitchell's on his back, and so rather than attack him, he backs off, intercepts the puck, and clears the puck up and out of the zone. Kid from Slovenia that played his youth hockey, believe it or not, in Sweden for Södertälje.
With his assist tonight, he now has points in 13 of the last 16 games, just remarkably consistent. As you point out, Pierre, it's not just the offensive side by a long shot with him as the Avs going to work in deep. It's knocked off the stick of Soderberg, but he perseveres to get it to McKinnon. Now Mitchell slides it back to the point, near side for Iginla. Now he sends it far side off the skate of McKinnon right to Shore. And he bounces it ahead now for Tanner Pearson across the line. Shore goes to the net. Shot here deflected off the netting behind Pickard and out of play.
What a play by Francois Beauchemin. That's not an easy thing to do. He's been one of the most reliable components for Colorado all season long. You see Iginla moves the puck to Nathan McKinnon. He just can't handle it. So then they're off to the races. Watch Beauchemin 32. He's going to sell out at the last second and make a real difficult block in that situation. His ice time's actually gone up this year from Anaheim. When he was in Anaheim last year, averaging a little over for 22 minutes. Now he's a little around 25 minutes. So his ice time's gone up.
Free agent signing back on July the 1st for the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche came into this game, Pierre, just a point ahead of Nashville for the last wild card spot in the Western Conference. As Duchesne sends it back to the line, here is Barrie with it. Backhand flip returns to Duchesne. High slot, little bump pass from Como back to Duchesne, now down low. Landeskog out of the corner with it, back to the line, across now for Eric Johnson, top of the near circle, drops it back off the stick of Barrie. On the far side as the penalty to Lewis expires, it's cleared out to the high slot. Lewis has it, and he's got Jeff Carter with him. Here is Lewis closing in a backhand. He just missed connecting there with Carter. And it's Landeskog sending it across now for Duchesne. Worst is one in from center ice off the blocker of Quick, who's letting his teammates know where that puck was that was up in the air. It's played around on the far side. Bounces off the King and swept out of the zone by Trevor Lewis. Quick counterattack though for the Avalanche. As this is Wagner right back across the line, puts on the brakes. Former Colgate star. Takes it in deep. Now it rolls off the stick of Downey, recovered by King. Plays it ahead for Trevor Lewis, who got a stick on it. On a second effort, able to get it deep into the Colorado zone. Now Beatroff plays it ahead for McLeod. Kept there by Luke Schenn, and then Schenn reached out and kind of grabbed a hold of Wagner. He got away with one there as the play is whistled offside. We will step aside. Quite a turnaround for the Avalanche in the second period. They tied this game at 2.
What do you say to your team after the first period? Because you're different here in the second.
We did have a good first period. I mean, Pick made some great save, kept us in the game. It was just stay calm, just play our game. Let's refocus on what we want to do, our structure, and good things gonna happen. It was a big goal by Dutchy, and then after that, I mean, you know what? Sometimes you just put pucks in the net. You're driving the net. That's what Landy did, and that's what Blake did on the shot. And Landy rebounded, and we scored, made it a 2-2 game.
Thanks a lot, Patrick.
You're very welcome.
Well, we all know how competitive Patrick Roy was during his Hall of Fame career. He's remarkably calm as a coach, Pierre. And
Dave, I've been around this group for the last 2 days. I'm really impressed with how tight they are, how positive the energy is, both from Dave Ferris and Tim Army, the assistant coaches, and from Patrick Roy in particular.
Here's Gabrick with a wrist shot into the glove Pickard as we go inside the glass. Here's Pierre McGuire.
Thanks a lot, Dave. When we talk about Colorado and the way they're playing here in the second period, let's digest exactly what they're doing. And it's all about energy and winning races. There you see Matt Duchene with the goal. That's Dutchy. That's who the coach was talking about. Then the drawn penalty because of the hustle. The big shot on goal, creating all kinds of opportunities in front of Jonathan Quick. Blake Como with a quick release. Fool Jonathan Quick. Gabriel Landeskog jumps on it. This is all due to effort, hustle, and second and third efforts, Dave, when you think about it.
No question. Ball the near boards. Dustin Brown gets to it for the Kings. Knocked away by Landeskog. He'll skate it back the other way and lift it high to the left of Jonathan Quick. Muzzin takes a quick look over his shoulder, plays it around the boards. It gets by Landeskog. And Johnson will lift it right back into the LA zone. A bouncing puck. Quick settles it down there. Now played up the far side off the stick of Gaborik. He controls, skates it back into the Colorado zone. Gaborik trying to get into the front. Johnson in good position defensively. Does not connect there with Soderberg. And that puck rolling slowly enough. Won't go for icing. The Avs will be able to make their change. Luke Schenn, errant pass off the wall, but the Avs couldn't take advantage of it. Although Martinson did get a stick out on the neutral zone. It's Kopitar bringing it back for Los Angeles off of his stick. Back out where Luke Schenn lofted it in, redirected wide by Lucic. Now Martinson on the far board. The Norwegian-born forward Martinson, who's brought some size and skating ability to this forward group of the Colorado Avalanche. And the lean on Kopitar as the puck goes far side. It skips away from Ehrhoff. He'll play it off the far boards and Toffoli now into the Colorado zone. Knocked away by Tyson Barrie in behind the Colorado net. Here comes Lucic. You saw that coming.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the 17 train.
Now Wagner in front of the Colorado bench, wristing it back in, and it's going to be offside.
Well, you want a little Patrick? Well, let's go back to 1993, the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. Kurt Muller in Game 3, putting it in the goal. In Game 5, actually, there's Patrick Roy, the Conn Smythe, all excited. There he is. Just grayer beard, Dave.
Well, yeah, you know what, though? He's lost a little bit of weight. He's been working hard to get ready for that February 26th alumni game ahead of the Stadium Series game that'll be played at Coors Field the next day between the Detroit Red Wings and the Colorado Avalanche. And quite a list of some alumni that are scheduled to play in that game on the 26th that Patrick is going to put the pads on for.
Yeah, he was working hard yesterday. I mean, he was outstandingly good yesterday. Players were shooting in his head. He had no problem with it.
Nolan sends it into the zone, and then Vigra stepped in front of him, and I think Vigra is going to get an interference call here.
That's one of the new rules that came out from zero tolerance on obstruction back in 2005 out of the work stoppage, and you'll see Vigra just moves a little bit over as Nolan tries to chip and chase on him. He's okay there, but then when he takes that extra step over to impede the progress, that makes it a pretty easy call for Graham Skilitar.
So a chance for the LA Kings to try to grab the momentum back in this game with their third power play opportunity. We're tied at 2. Downey and Lewis for the Kings in the first. Duchene and Landeskog in the second here for Colorado. Kings have managed just one shot on goal with the man advantage in their first 2 power plays as they control the draw. Ehrhoff trying to move it along. It's intercepted by Holden. He had his pocket picked though by Gaborik, who picks it up. Barry Gaborik circling the Colorado goal on the far side. Hands it off now. Carter back to the line. Back to Gaborik on the far side. Into the face-off circle for a shot. He missed it, trying to go high short side. It's picked up on the near boards by Martinez. Alec Martinez with it. Chris back toward the blue line. Hands it off to LeCavalier. He looks, fires a shot up high. Deflected up off the glass and around the boards and out. The Kings out of their own zone. Just over 6.5 remaining here in the second period of this game. All the way in for the chances, Martinez, and Pickard able to just pick it out of the air at the top of the blue paint.
This won't make the Colorado coaches happy. This is too easy. You got to have a little bit more resistance. And look where the defensemen end up. You see where Johnson's backing off. You see Beauchemin's backing off. Nobody channels him away from the center of the ice. So for Martinez, who can rip the puck. And you see Patrick, well, he's not happy with that How come we give up that middle shot? That's what he's talking about with his defense. And that's exactly right. That's how you got to be proactive as a coach. That's way too easy. Great job by Patrick recognizing that.
Kopitar wins the draw, back to the line. Doughty feeds it back to Kopitar. Kopitar thought about a shot, sends it back straight away. Muzzin far side for the one-timer. No, Doughty couldn't pull the trigger. Back to Muzzin, now to Kopitar again. Top of the circle. Drifting in for the wrist shot on the save by Pickard, and he'll just hang on to that.
Hey, Dave, he's a story right now. Calvin Pickard, who got pulled in the game last night, did not come out for the third period. Roman Will did. And for Calvin Pickard, he was great in the first period, and he hasn't been tested often here, but what you like about him, no rebounds. I mean, that's Kopitar shooting through a maze of players, and you see Milan Lucic posted up right in front of him, waiting for the juicy rebound, and there is none.
Pickard, the 23-year-old fourth-year pro out of Moncton, New Brunswick, did not play any NHL games his first year, 2 years pro, so paying his dues in the minors and getting an opportunity here because of the various situations, the Varlamov situation as well as the illness that hit the team. Kopitar turns, hands it off far side for Lucic. Takes it wide on Holden. It's knocked away and cleared by the Avalanche. As we're down to 35 seconds remaining in the Vigra interference call. Here's Toffoli. Hands it off for Lucic. Back to Tyler Toffoli on the tough angle. Trying to get it out in front. He does! On the jam play. Stopped by Pickard, and another jam-matic by Lucic. This time we'll skate away from any fray that might happen.
Now the big Braun gets to the front of the net. And again, Calvin Pickard, big as a house. Tyler Toffoli plays pitch and catch with Milan Lucic. Then he drives to the net. Look where Jake Muzzin is posted up down low. Lucic comes in and tries to win a race and get a puck. We talked about taking away the middle. Patrick Watt said to the players, how come we're not closing the middle? Blake Como, coachable player. He takes away the middle part of the ice. Great job by Como making that read and paying attention to Patrick Watt.
25 seconds remaining in this LA power play. The Kings have the draw, but a good job there by Cody McLeod to jump out and push it back into the LA end of the ice. Doughty plays it ahead. Here's Gabbert. First to speed, drops it back. Cross ice now for Doughty. Straight away Muzzin. Far side Gabbert pulls the trigger on the shot. Save made by Pickard. Trickled out to his left, but the Jazz were able to get to it. Bozeman tries to clear, intercepted by Pearson. Out to the high slot. Vigra came out of the box. And it comes to McLeod. He'll just lob it far side of center ice. And it's in front of the Colorado bench. Dumped back into the LA zone. 4 shots on goal for the Kings on that power play. And Muzzin, middle of the ice now for Carter. Carter, long-range shot that bounced off the Bernard shot. It'll be picked up in deep by Jordan Nolan. He looks to the front. Centering pass. Goal! From Jordan Nolan. And the Kings have regained the lead at 3-2.
Now Jeff Carter launches a puck on goal. Dave, good eye. It goes off of Andrew Bednarchuk's leg. So you're going to see there's going to be a change that's happening for Colorado. Puck's going to go in deep. Drew Doughty's going to get it off to the race. Carter's going to get the puck to the middle of the ice, right here. So moving, off the leg. Changes for Los Angeles. Nobody picks up the guys off the bench. Jordan Nolan right out front, and then the finish. Look at that pass right out front to Dwight King. That's off the line change. Nobody was talking.
By number 74, Dwight King.
Dwight King getting the goal in his 4th of the year, just his 14th game. He didn't play until late December here. As Nick Shore back behind the Colorado net as the Kings coming right back looking for another one to reestablish the 2-goal lead.
Time of the goal, 15-13.
Shore trying to jam it out to the line. It's blocked, but picked up and on the angle. Nolan testing Pickard again, and he holds it there. Just over 4 minutes remaining here in the second period, and the Kings, after giving up 2 here in the second, regain the lead.
See the Los Angeles Kings forwards all changing. Foot race is one. You get the puck. And look at the guys in white. This is such a coachable moment. They're focused on the puck, not on an area. Jordan Nolan throws into a dead spot in coverage, and Dwight King takes advantage. That's just young players not communicating, not picking up men, magnetized to the puck. That's a very coachable moment. Colorado will get better because of that, even though it hurts them right now.
Back to center ice. Doughty pressured by Soderberg. Drops it back. Braden McNabb with it now. Soderberg in on him. To the 3-2 lead. With under 4 minutes remaining here as a lead pass now. Lewis trying to catch up to it. Pickard decides to skate out of the net. Clears it to the boards. He won the race. And Como now at center ice. Separated from the puck by Pearson. Sends it across. Eric Johnson couldn't get much on it. Now Landeskog sends it back to Johnson for Colorado in their own zone. Now Cavalier blocks it for LA and sends it right back in wide of Pickard. Lucic in on the forecheck. Here's Eric Johnson. Lucic takes it away from Bolshevin. And between the circles, the Avs get it back, and it's lobbed back out through center ice. Mentioned that Dwight King playing in just his 14th game. He blocked a shot in the last exhibition game for the Kings back in October. Broke a bone and couldn't really skate till he was about 2 weeks before he came back and played late December. An important part of the depth of the LA Kings. As it comes out to the line now, here is Lucic. Rotated back there with Muzzin in deep. Now Muzzin goes back to take his spot, rolls it across for Martinez. Backhands it along where it's picked up by Kopitar on the cycle. Skates it back out to the high slot, dropping it back for Lucic. He'll get to it.
See the structure of the end zone coverage? That's the teachable moment. They're not going to make that mistake like they did on the third goal. Real good job of picking up men, not areas. Pick up men.
Martinez will try a long-range shot. Pickard able to hold his ground. The puck up in the air came down close to the Colorado crease. And it's lobbed back the other way. And now Jonathan Quick will skate out and snap it out to center ice. Martinez lifts it right back into the Colorado zone. Bolshevin pressured by Brown, able to get it loose for McKinnon. To Duchesne, who sends it in deep. The veteran Jerome McGinley, who jumped out of this line earlier in this period, comes back out again. Pushes the puck away, but it's picked up by Dustin Brown. Backhands it ahead. It bounced off of Gabrick and sent by the Avs back in deep. Doughty back to get it behind his own net. Pulls it away from Mitchell, hands it off to Brown. Rink wide for Gabrick. He'll pick it up off the Karen. Gabrick on the angle. Pickard able to make the save. And now Tyson Barrie along the near boards. He'll backhand it or try to get it out. It's blocked by Gabrick. Sends it far side. McNabb steps into it. Pulls it in deep. It gets by the stick of Carter. Covered here by Dustin Brown. Penalty coming against the Colorado Avalanche as Quick is going to get to the bench, but not with enough time to get an extra attacker out as the puck is touched.
Watch Tyson Barrie in a one-on-one with Jeff Carter, slashes and break Carter's stick.
All right, fans, let's hear your dreams around this. Sporting Spine.
The LA Kings go back to work on the power play, and though they didn't score on their last one here, they certainly got some momentum from it.
They sure did, and they got bodies to the front of Calvin Pickard, who again had to make some superhuman type saves.
Kings control the face-off to start this power play. And the Champman through and eventually getting it was Doughty. Lucic on the far side. Kopitar makes the drop pass to the point, gets some separation. Now he gives it back to Muzzin for Doughty. Muzzin pressured. Puck knocked away by Soderberg, picked up by Como. He'll get it back down into the LA zone.
That's a great job of Soderberg and Como overplaying on Doughty and Muzzin. Doughty and Muzzin not responding.
Now far side for Muzzin. He'll get it into the Colorado zone. Eric Johnson turns and sends it all the way back down the ice. Less than a minute remaining here in the second period. Doughty plays it ahead. Lucic, top of the circle, looks to the front and trying to hit the stick of Toffoli, who was skating in front of Pickard. Now it comes to Doughty again. Doughty looks, didn't like what he saw, skates it back toward the line, still controls, drops it for Kopitar. Far side now for Martinez, who has moved way in. Martinez still controlling. Under 20 seconds remaining. Martinez goes down. Some of the Kings and a lot of the fans wanted to call, but nothing coming. Doughty moves it along. It's picked off by Bolshevin. He'll send it back down the ice. Final 5 seconds of the second period. Kopitar from 3/4 length of the ice. Easily steered aside by Pickard. Stay tuned for the Discover Card intermission report. Liam, Mike, and Keith will talk about Colorado's comeback and a preview of the NHL top 10, the best of 3-on-3. And there's been some terrific plays throughout this season. The first we've seen 3-on-3 in the overtime. LA had both goals in the first. Colorado had 2 of the 3 in the second. It is 3-2 LA after 2. Our intermission report coming up right after this. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Discover. Show your loyalty. Get your NHL Discover IT card now. Back in downtown LA, it's the Kings with a 3-2 lead. It was 2-0 in favor of Los Angeles. Dominated the first period, but that man, Matt Duchene, started the comeback for Colorado as we take a look at the player profile with insights from SAP. Matt Duchene headed to his second All-Star game in Nashville this weekend. Leads the team now with 23 goals, which ties him with Evgeny Malkin for 7th most in the National Hockey League. And as you see, just 4 shy of his career high after getting off to a slow start in the month of October. And the Avs still have Tyson Barrie in the box. Penalty came with 1:27 remaining in period number 2. So the Kings continue to work with the man advantage.
Tyson Barrie got nailed in the mouth last night with a puck in their 6-1 loss to San Jose. Missed about a shift and a half, Dave. I'm not kidding you. Got sutured up on the bench, went right back out and played, and he got nailed.
Well, that second period was a series of streaks from both teams. Colorado came out with the push, had the first 7 shots. The Kings had the last 9. Well, Barrie in the boxes. The Kings would work with the time they have remaining, down to just 15 seconds on this power play. Carter got it loose to the line. Martinez with a rising shot. Kopitar was in front of Pickard, and it went high up off the glass, and now it's recovered by Erik Johnson under some pressure. Gaborik knocks it away. It rolls slowly out to Doughty. He chips it back along. Blocked by Beauchemin, and it's back out center ice as Barrie comes out of the box. A successful and much needed penalty kill for the Avalanche did not allow the Kings a single shot with that man advantage. The Kings stepped down the puck. That allows the Avs to pick it up, and the shot attempt there by Barrie off an LA stick and out of play. Well, you up for some football? 2 title contenders clash on the pitch as Manchester City hosts Leicester City Saturday, February 6th, and on Sunday the 7th, soccer giants Manchester United head to London to take on Chelsea. The Premier League is here on NBCSN. Dave Strader along with Pierre McGuire, the rest of our crew. In the last 20 minutes, as Liam McHugh just pointed out before the All-Star break, unless we go beyond regulation.
It's going to be a great All-Star weekend in Nashville, I can tell you that.
McGinley trying to toe drag it out front. He got it out front. It's outside the blue paint. Duchene was spun off the puck before he could get a stick on it. And Toffoli angles it off the boards back in deep. Pearson right up by Holden. Now Lecavalier trying to get it free. He does. It comes all the way out to the high slot. Sent back toward the Colorado net. It was picked up by Toffoli. Save made by Pickard. Good stop there by Pickard.
Big time stop.
Loves him with a shot redirected by Lecavalier. Tries to get in for that loose puck behind the net. Was knocked down, but he jumps right back up. Here's Pearson. Sends it back out now to Luke Schenn, who's at the right point. Luke Schenn shot blocked, picked up, though by Lecavalier. He tried to bunt it back to Toffoli, who went the other way around the Colorado player.
Well, they got some youthful enthusiasm around Vinny that time with Pearson and Toffoli using Lecavalier for King and Lewis.
Up the far side, it skips over the stick of Skilly, who had just jumped down the ice, and the Avs were careful as that puck came back toward their bench as they were completing a change. Nashville Predators won their game in Calgary on the road as it's backhanded in front of Quick and now cleared by the Kings back the other way. So for now, they leapfrog over the Avalanche into a wild card spot. In fact, that puts Nashville ahead of the Minnesota Wild for the time being heading into the break.
They ran the West. They won every single game on their road trip, starting in Winnipeg. One in Edmonton, one in Calgary, one in Vancouver, one in Winnipeg. They won them all.
What a great way to end the pre-All-Star portion of the schedule for the Predators, who have fallen out of the playoff spot, struggled a bit.
Ryan Johansson, remember the difference he is going to make there the second half of the year.
Dustin Brown trying to cut in. Goes down, gets back up to play in the near corner, around on the far side for Doughty. Doughty flips it back in deep, jumps over the stick of Kopitar. As recover, and Tyson Berry starts it ahead. 3 minutes into this third period, it's a 3-2 Los Angeles lead. And the Kings, of course, their incentive is to try to get a little bit more separation against their rivals to the north, the San Jose Sharks, who headed into the break 8-0-2 in their last 10 games. You saw them last night in San Jose.
Joe Thorne's at another level. He's having so much fun playing. Thomas Hertl is playing fantastically well for them. Marc-Edouard Vlasic on the back end. They're getting big-time goaltending from Martin Jones, a former Los Angeles King. They got a lot of good stuff going on there right now in San Jose. And Pete DeBoer is coaching fantastically well.
Gabbert inside, outside, missed it on the glove side of Pickard, and it's knocked away by Landeskog. Will be chased down by Christian Ehrhoff as he'll try to quickly counter. Brings it along the boards in behind Pickard to hit off the inboards and hit the back of the net. Lewis gets to it. Now it's picked up by Dwight King. Knocked off of his stick and chased down on the near boards where it's backhanded out to center ice, up back in on a delayed offside. Kings were able to get back and tag up and hold it from behind his own net. Now a stretch pass to center ice off the stick of Martinson, and back inside the LA zone. Here is Munson with it one more time. He'll drop it back for his D partner, Alec Martinez. Back where it's redirected deep into the Colorado zone. Holden moves it quickly as he takes a hit. Backhanded up the wall.
Cavier back with a different line now again.
Now Wagner gets to it, tries to cut to the middle and just off his stick.
Playing with Nolan and King.
He's moving Vinny around to get other guys going, I guess, as Johnson's first shot is handled here by Quick. Now a bouncing puck recovered by McKinnon, up high, a save, rebound chance for Gimlet, and somehow Quick spinning around made the awkward looking but very effective stop, and it comes to center ice. The crowd buzzing on that sequence from the goaltender Jonathan Quick. Now Carter taking it wide. Behind the net, tried to stuff it out in front. Block comes right back to him. Another chance is off the right pad of Pickard. Picked up now by Pearson. Redirected into the slot. Knocked away by the Avs. And sent down the ice by Duchesne. Braden McNabb pressured by Gimler. Now Doughty back to get it. Up from behind his own net, trying to weave his way up the ice. He'll pull away from Mitchell and send it back in deep. Plays it back to the corner. Tyson Berry has it there. And play whistled down. The official pointing at the box.
Now, Dave, Nathan McKinnon and Matt Duchesne come off the ice and they say, this is the best save we've ever seen. Here's Erik Johnson gaining the line. Jonathan Quick spits it out. Alec Martinez tries to move it. Duchesne gets in the lane. Nathan McKinnon shoots the puck. Jerome McKinley bats it out of the air, and then you watch Jonathan Quick. He returns a favor, so it's like ping pong. One paddle to the net.
Oh, wow.
Up and out. That is spectacular goaltending by Jonathan Quick. And both McKinnon and Duchesne said, best save they've ever seen. You'd have to think it rates up there.
What a great look at it there. From our angle up here, I couldn't tell whether the Ginla shot was actually headed back toward the net, but you can certainly see the acrobatic move that was made by Quick. So coincidental minor penalty.
Los Angeles penalties number 8
As Doughty
2 minutes for roughing.
for the Kings and Mitchell for the Avs go off the ice. And so 4 skaters aside in this 3-2 contest as Kopitar gets a shot that's deflected up on the netting and out of play.
We got to look at that save again, Dave, from Jonathan Quick. I mean, you think about it. It's Jerome McGinley, 602 goals, who bats it out of the air, and eventually watch Jonathan Quick right here. Wow.
Now we see the great goaltenders. Henrik Lundqvist has done this a couple of times that I can remember, Pierre, where they're in a twisted, unusual position, but they never lose sight of the puck, and they get whatever part of their body or equipment that's needed. You can see why he's won a Conn Smythe, a couple of Stanley Cups, and going to another All-Star game.
What about the World Cup?
Yeah, that's right. That's coming up. As the a Colorado player trying to cut in. That was Duchesne, who is going to draw the tripping call. They don't like it here in Los Angeles. When we come back, a minute 20 of 4-on-3 power play time for the Avalanche.
Jake Muzzin in a one-on-one with Matt Duchesne. Watch a stick going to the left foot. That's okay, but it's the hand reaching out that puts Duchesne down. That gets Muzzin in trouble. Fourth power play opportunity for the Colorado Avalanche tonight. So far, 0 for 3.
And it's a 4-on-3, Pierre, because there's still a minute 20 remaining in those coincidental minors to Mitchell of the Avs and Doughty of the Kings. And the draw controlled by the Avs is Barrie, Duchesne, Landeskog, and Iginla. The four skaters, Iginla on the far side, out to Barrie. Now it comes to Duchesne, top of the near circle, looks across, he finds Iginla, settles it down in tight now for Barrie. Wanted to go back to Iginla, that was taken away by Luke Schenn. Barrie circles out high, hands it off on the near side for Duchesne. Duchesne sends it across far side, Iginla with a shot that's knocked down by Luke Schenn, who got in the way of that. Now it comes to Barrie again straight away. As with a 4-on-3 power play, a one-timer and a save made by Quick. He got across on Iginla. Avs down by a goal, trying to find the equalizer with this power play as Duchesne drops it back. Barrie faked the one-timer. Now he'll take it deep. He'll take it behind the LA net. He'll skate out the far side, puts on the brakes, rocks the puck, gets a shot away, quick to save. Landeskog plays it back to Barrie on the far side. Now he sends it across for Duchesne, top of the circle, waits, drops it back. Barrie blasts the one-timer, missed the net. And Luke Schenn gets to it, and he lifts it down the ice. Back the other way, Duchesne. Drawn on the puck, finds Barrie. Barrie across for Landeskog. He scores! It's a 4-on-3 power play. There was just a second remaining in the Mitchell and Doughty minors. And we've got a tie hockey game once again.
Well, I'll give Calvin Pickard a big assist here. What a smart play. He knows he's got numbers coming the other way, and Los Angeles is going for a skate and a change. So he moves the puck quickly up to Duchesne. Duchesne stops and pops, good strength on the puck. And what a pass from Barrie. Right over to Gabriel Landeskog, who gets the second goal of the game. Tyson Barrie, slick pass, easy goal for Landeskog. Jonathan Quick was hung out to dry, but it all starts with Calvin Pickard. What a heads-up play by Pickard to move that puck up to Duchesne.
Now, I think there's a discussion here about the penalty situation or the players that came out of the boxes.
It's 5-on-5, so they're just letting both coaching staffs know Daryl Sutter's going to come out with Pearson, Toffoli, and Carter. So that 70s line is reunited, Dave.
Yes. Well, I thought there was a second left in the coincidental minors, and maybe they had just ended. So we are back to 5 skaters aside. It is a power play goal for the Avalanche. They have tied this thing up. And Landeskog, look out, here is a chance in front of Quick. He was scrambling again as the puck went just wide. Now it comes to the right point for Erik Johnson. Johnson spins, goes down as Carter was on him. And the puck comes to Doughty, slides it across for Toffoli. Toffoli able to get by Mitchell's check, feeds it to Carter on the left wing side. Sends it in front, just misconnecting with Toffoli. Now Tanner Pearson with it. Toffoli again. Rolls it back now for Carter. Spins away from Skilly. Pearson goes to the front of the net. Now it's picked up by Martinez. A spin move, gets the shot away up high on Pickard, who held his ground and made the save. Martinez again rolls it out in front. Pickard, with a lot of traffic that included Pearson, went down, and now we got a whistle for a holding call.
Tyler Toffoli's going to get it for the hold. You know, it's interesting. Alec Martinez scored a Stanley Cup winning goal on that end of the ice. He had a slick move, but eventually it leads to this. You see the right hand of Tyler Toffoli grab onto the back. And how about earlier in the game, or in this period, I should say, Jonathan Quick back Karam off the boards. And Jack Skilly almost jumped on that fortunate break for Colorado, and an active stick from Braden McNabb.
I started to say that the Landeskog came into Dallas last Saturday with only 2 goals on the road to his credit. Had a big shorthanded goal that night. And as you just pointed out, Pierre, has a couple of goals in this one. And right back on the power play where they just scored to tie the game go the Avalanche. Is this puck over the glass, and is this going to be a delay of game? Did this go cleanly?
They're going to have to gather here and talk about this. You see them all coming together.
Looks like we're just going to have a face-off to the left of Quick. No penalty.
You got to admire the way Colorado's pushed back in this game. And Calvin Pickard, very appropriate that it helped set up that last goal by Colorado.
Kopitar pushing it back through center ice, and coming back to help out was Iginla. As Kopitar was looking to push that ahead for what could have been a 2-on-1 shorthanded opportunity.
Ever since Iginla's been moved up in the lineup to play with Duchesne and McKinnon, he's had an extra step going. He's really been elevating his game.
Now Como tried to play it back, but not going to fool Anze Kopitar. He had his stick right in the passing lane, blocked it, sent it down the ice. The Landeskog second of the game, 13th of the season from Barrie and Duchesne on the 4-on-3 power play. Has tied this game up. Still better than a minute remaining in the current LA penalty to Toffoli. As Landeskog back to get it, pressured there by Lewis. Erik Johnson now out of the Colorado zone. Gets away from the pressure of Lewis, but Lewis forcing him back. Still some valuable time on this Colorado power play. Soderberg with it. Feeds it right side for McKinnon. Trying to make a quick move to the outside, but he was shouldered to the boards by Martinez. Now here's Soderberg with it. Off the boards now where it's picked up by Holden. Right point now for Erik Johnson. For Grigorenko on the near side. He sends it rink wide. Good stick by Schenn. Schenn trying to get control, and he is able to work it out the center ice. And Grigorenko broke his stick on the plate of the net. Gets back to the bench quickly to get a new one. Another rush into the zone for the Avs. Here is McKinnon with a shot that was blocked by Muzzin. The broken stick of Grigorenko in the corner. Getting in the way is McKinnon. Has the stick handle around it. Sends it out to Erik Johnson. Back along the near boards. It comes back to Johnson far side for Holden. High slot McKinnon. Backhands it to Soderberg. Spins away with the backhand tap. Picked up in front. Grigorenko hands it up. They score! McKinnon! After the penalty that Toffoli had expired, but he never got back into the play, Pierre, and the Avs have taken the lead.
Wow, this is an amazing come from behind situation for Colorado. Watch the play by Carl Soderberg. McKinnon's been omnipresent every time he's been on the ice since the first period. He's always wanted the puck where he's going to get the puck. Eventually it's going to go to Soderberg. A spin around by 34 and White, and then Nathan McKinnon's going to jump on it and put it to the back of the net. Look at that spin around shot, and it eventually comes over to the stick of McKinnon and just buries it up high. Grigorenko couldn't handle it, but McKinnon sure could.
Rolled in now on Pickard, who covers up. Calvin Pickard has been a story in this game to allow the likes of Nathan McKinnon to do his thing. It's a lead for the Avs. For the most passionate hockey community in America, to nominate your community for a chance to host an NHL preseason game plus $150,000 in arena upgrades. Nominations now open. Craft Hockeyville for the love of hockey. Dave Schrader, Pierre McGuire, the rest of our NBCSN crew. The Avs have come all the way back, and who would have thought the way that first period ended 2-0, and it could have been worse were it not for Calvin Pickard. And we'd be looking at the Avs, Pierre, past the halfway mark of the third period with a lead.
Well, I'm with you. It's a story you can see right from the first period. Calvin Pickard was going to have to be superhuman. And so far, he's been outstanding for Colorado. And Dave, this is a big reason why Colorado's got the one-goal lead. Calvin Pickard, just awesome right from the start of the game. Shuts that one down on Dwight King. How about this one? Tyler Toffoli coming in hard. Milan Lucic hard. And then this long stretch pass to Matt Duchesne that eventually is going to end up at the back of the net. Duchesne to Barrie over to Landeskog. Boom.
Luke Schenn chasing back after this puck deep in the LA zone, able to get it to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff off the stick of LeCavalier and out to center ice where Erik Johnson slides it across to Francois Beauchemin. Up the far boards and in front of the LA bench, a collision there, and the puck recovered by LeCavalier. Back for Luke Schenn. The two recent additions from the Flyers that have both made an impact. As the puck is driven by Ehrhoff in behind Pickard around the far side. Boschman pressured by a couple of LA Kings, including Milan Lucic, but the puck comes free, and Erik Johnson able to get it to Como, who lifts it back out to center ice. 8.5 remaining here in the third. It's a 4-3 Colorado lead over the LA Kings as Gabrick with a shot missed on the far side, tried to go stick side on Pickard. And McNabb will lob it back along to the far side of the Colorado zone. Gabrick with it. Walks it up the wall, out near the line, backhands it along. Picked up by Kopitar, trying to fend off a couple of Avalanche players. Manages to do it, gets it back behind the net, skates it out the near side, out to Doughty. Doughty with a little spinorama move. We've seen a couple of those tonight. As the puck is sent back along the boards, Soderberg gets a stick on it. He's pressured, and Doughty has it again. Jams it back in deep, looking for Kopitar. Erik Johnson stepped in front of him. Now played off the boards by Soderberg, and it skips off of Doughty and back inside the LA line. McNabb pressured there by Landeskog. Gabriel Landeskog, Blake Como, and Soderberg. This line's been terrific for Patrick Waugh here in the third. Here's Soderberg again. Sends it toward the net. It's blocked in front by McNabb. And cleared ahead where Kopitar will control. Drops it back now for Doughty. Doughty. Center ice, plays it along in behind. Pickard, who moves it cleanly now for Barry, and now Soderberg. Holden flips it ahead. Coming over to block that was Jake Muzzin. He backhands it into the Avalanche zone. Barry up the boards with it. Goes by the glove of Shore out to center ice, and it's picked up on the move by Duchesne. Duchesne hands it off far side. Tried to for McKinnon. Good back check by Dwight King. Shore off the wall for Martinez, and now for Jordan Nolan. Stacks it back the other way. Nolan puts it in deep, goes in after it. Knocked away and right out of the stick of Vigra, who hands it off, and Duchesne lifts it back out to center ice. Knocked down by Jake Muzzin. Backhands it to an open area in the Colorado zone. It's picked up by Carter. Jeff Carter on the backhand turns. Sends it back along now for Lewis. Out to the slot here for Carter. Tried to wrap it back in front. It was deflected to the near side. Tyler Toffoli has it through traffic. Hit a couple of skates and went wide before it got to Pickard. Now Carter out to the line again for Ehrhoff. He pulls the trigger on a shot that goes off the end boards wide. Played up the far boards off the stick of Duchesne. Intercepted Toffoli out to Luke Schenn. Tees it up. Now he lets it go, and it's blocked in front.
Nice job by Francois Beauchemin. Instead of icing the puck, just chips it down. Nice and casual, and now Colorado can make a change. Great veteran play.
Played ahead now for LeCavalier. Gets the stick free. Puts it right on the front. It's off the right pad of Pickard. Ends up along the far boards. Kicked along, but LeCavalier gets there. Now Dustin Brown trying to get control of it with his stick. It comes free for LeCavalier again. Feeds it out to the point. Doughty to the net. That's blocked in front by Erik Johnson, and Skilly sends it back across. Doesn't connect with Mitchell, and it's recovered by Doughty, but this is an icing call.
Well, the Los Angeles Kings are pushing, and that's one of the guys that's helping to push. Vinny LeCavalier had a tremendous first period, not a great second, but you see an example of just pushing the pace of the game, trying to get it out front, and a very aggressive goaltending play made by Calvin Pickard. Again, utilizing his feet and his stick to try to create an opportunity for Trevor Lewis.
Face off to the right of the Colorado net, controlled by the Avs. Erik Johnson jams it off the far board that bounces down toward the LA line, recovered by Doughty. This Colorado team's only had 3 regulation wins in games they trailed after 2. As it's up on the back of the net, jammed free by Kopitar. He's contested on the near side by Tyson Barrie. Worked along the wall by Muzzin. He got it free, but Barrie has it, and it's flipped by Erik Johnson back out to center ice. And as we hit 5 minutes remaining here in the third period, it's a 4-3 Colorado lead. They trailed 2-0 after 1, tied it up 2-2 in the second, fell behind 3-2 before the start of the third, and a stick comes up on Barrie, and is that the call? He, yes, was hit by Kopitar, who will head to the box. Colorado with the lead, and on the power play after this. 8 Eastern on Friday here on NBCSN. We begin our coverage of All-Star Weekend presented by Honda. Then at 4:30 on Sunday, it's the 2016 Honda NHL All-Star Game. Then we get back to regular season action on Tuesday night. How about Florida and Washington at 6:30 Eastern here on NBCSN? And then Wednesday night, rivalry, Detroit and Tampa Bay.
Now, an emotional crowd here. The crowd didn't like that no call against Blake Comeau and Drew Doughty. And then they get really mad when Kopitar comes up high on Tyson Barrie. But he did come up high on Tyson Barrie.
Los Angeles Television number 11 on Jake Kopitar.
3 straight power plays here for the Avs, trying to take advantage again, but lifting it too high there was Jarome Iginla, who was set up in his familiar spot on the far side. Here's Duchesne again, knocked off his stick, back at the line, Barrie has it. Back to Iginla. Moves it away from Pearson and from Luke Schenn, gets it out in front for a chance that was turned aside. Picked up by Duchesne in the near corner. Duchesne with it, hands it off for Landeskog. Gabriel Landeskog, 2 goals already in the game, gets it back on the quick pass. It goes out to the line. Barrie back to Landeskog. Closes in, didn't like what he saw. Gets it back to the line. Barrie will try a shot that's blocked to the far side. Jarome Iginla has it. 602 regular season goals, the 18th player to get to 600. As Duchesne has lost his stick, he gets back to the bench. And he will be replaced. The puck still jammed up along the end boards. Now it comes free, and it's picked up by Landeskog out to the line. Gets it back again from Tyson Barrie. 55 seconds remaining in the LA penalty to Kopitar. Comeau back to Barrie. It's off his stick.
Bad luck. That thing just skipped at the last second on Tyson Barrie.
Now McKinnon will roll it back behind quick around on the far side. It's recovered by Doughty, and he sends it all the way back down the ice. Erik Johnson back to get it. Hands it off now for Holden. Back for Johnson, who hands it to McKinnon. He couldn't handle it cleanly. Off his stick and wasn't able to send it all the way back down the ice. Now the Avs having some problems getting control out of their own zone. Back behind the net.
McKinnon's got to get off. He's got one of those skate protectors and came loose, and he couldn't skate on his left foot.
Soderberg sends it back in deep. Final seconds of the Kopitar penalty. Puck out to the line, knocked away, and it's picked up by Dwight King. He's got Kopitar with him. Avs getting back. Here is Dwight King putting on the brakes. Wheels it back to the front. Off a stick, picked up by Kopitar. Backhand wraparound, stopped by Pickard. Kopitar hands it again below the goal line. Spins to hand it off to Doughty, top of the circle. Gets the shot away, and a save by Pickard through traffic. Now it comes top of the circle for Carter with a shot save. Rebound chance, and I don't know what that hit, but somehow it didn't go in. Looked like there was room. Pickard flashed out the pad, but I don't know if that puck got through.
If it didn't hit Pickard, it hit Erik Johnson.
Now here is Carter walking it up the wall. Hands it off for Doughty. He's double teamed. As we approach 2 minutes remaining in regulation, a pass across for Carter with a shot and a save by Pickard. Just squeezing that right arm against the side of his body against the dangerous number 77.
Man, has he been great tonight. Pulled after 40 minutes last night against San Jose in the 6-1 loss. Watch this. I mean, this is just great puck movement. Jeff Carter, a lethal shooter, puts that right on goal, and you see how aggressive Pickard is. And then you've got Kopitar and Dwight King going to work. Who does it hit? It hits Erik Johnson and Pickard, I believe. Watch Erik Johnson, 6, I think gets hit. It goes off Erik Johnson, never gets to Pickard.
Wow.
Oh. You see Dwight King stopping, popping, and looking up to Kopitar on the wraparound. It's been Pickard's night so far.
Bolshevin hands it off now for McKinnon. It's knocked away, though, and Martinez tried to whip it back toward the Colorado net. It's blocked up on the netting and out of play with 1:54 now remaining in the third. Jonathan Quick for now. Pierre stays in his net.
And all the LA players are looking over at Daryl Sutter saying, is he coming? Not yet.
LeCavalier, Gaborik, Brown up front, Martinez and Schenn. The 5 skaters for Daryl Sutter as they look for the tying goal. McKinnon to take the draw for the Avs. They tie each other up. The puck comes free, and it's jumped on by Jarome Iginla. He'll take his time to the red line, then push it ahead around Schenn. And all the way deep to the right of Jonathan Quick. Excellent job there by Iginla to just get it down deep, and the Avs are content with this play along the wall as the clock continues to tick. Now Gaborik trying to use his speed, but swept away from him by Nathan McKinnon. He just wheels it back the other way, gloved down by Muzzin, who pushes it ahead for Brown. Quick starting to head toward the bench now for the extra attacker. Dustin Brown out to the right point. Doughty with a shot that was blocked by Cody McLeod. Now played up the far boards. Doughty gets to it again. Doughty, high slot with a shot here. Stopped by Picker. The rebound just wide of the net. Gaborik has it now. Minute 10 remaining in regulation. Gaborik skates it out to the far side to get a little separation. Straight away now for Muzzin. Near side for Doughty. Back to Muzzin. Far side. Gaborik didn't have the shot. Now Gaborik, less than a minute remaining here in the third. Sends it back to the line for Muzzin. Muzzin, no shooting lane. Now he'll try it. It's blocked by Eric Johnson, who's been terrific in front of his goaltender here in the late stages of this third period. Muzzin again. Being pressured out high. Lobs one across. It's off the stick of Beauchemin. Under 40 seconds. It comes to Foley. He stands on it. Downey tries to get to it. Has to chase it. Gets a shot away. That's blocked by Beauchemin. And it's picked up in a race for the open net. But wait a minute. A penalty wasn't going to be called here. And a penalty, obviously, against the Avs. King might want to ask for a couple of ticks to be put back on the clock here, because I think the official was so far away that the Colorado player skated a few strides with that puck toward the open net.
The Colorado players don't know who the penalty's on. Now Cody McLeod's going to go make the skate of shame right there. There's the hook on Marian Gaborik. Watch 55 and White's going to come right into the hip, the right hip of Gaborik. And the official makes the call. Timeout, Los Angeles.
Timeout, Los Angeles. Los
So
Angeles
after
takes its
3 consecutive minor penalties against LA, Colorado takes one here.
Well, why are we where we are right now? Watch Matt Duchene move the puck with Tyson Barrie over to Gabriel Landeskog. Brilliant precision, and then Nick Holden over eventually to Nathan McKinnon after Grigorenko can't handle it to the back of the net. The anatomy of an upset and a come from behind win for Colorado if they can hang on. And he has coached a tremendous game. All positive remarks on that bench as he talks to Tim Arming, his assistant coach. Dave, not once was he negative with his group the entire night.
Yeah, terrific. Terrific job by Waugh. 30.5 seconds. Now facing a power play for Los Angeles. Empty net down to our right. 6 skaters against 4 as the puck missed the stick of Gaborik. Recovered by Muzzin. He tried to send it back for Gaborik. Bounces up the far boards. Kopitar pressured by Mitchell. Kopitar now down low. Gaborik back to Kopitar. He'll send it out long range. One-timer by Doughty. Good focus there by Pickard to watch that right into his pad. It comes out front for a blast here. Pickard sliding out, makes the save.
Wow. I know Pickard's not Waugh, but this is Waugh-like in terms of performance. Calvin Pickard. You talked about focus. There's some focus right there on the screenshot from Doughty. And then watch this one from Kopitar just staring him down. And look how aggressive he is. What a push. Gets up. Francois Allaire, the goalie coach in Colorado, is watching that and saying, that's what I taught him to do.
So we're down to 5.4 seconds remaining as the Avs trying to hang on and get these important 2 points and leapfrog back over a couple of teams in front of them in the standings. The draw is tied up. It comes free. Kings have it. Doughty across for Carter to the net. Up too high. And time is going to run out. And what a character win on the road for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, face-off win for Los Angeles. And again, Calvin Pickard, you can see the response from his teammates. They're just thrilled with his performance and what a come-from-behind win. Tracks the puck, stays with it, just high and wide. But the face-off win was there. The play was appropriate. And Patrick Waugh, you think he's not into it? Oh, yeah.
So Colorado goes to 57 points to jump back ahead of Nashville and Minnesota, thanks to the 2 points they get here tonight, and thanks to the performance of Calvin Pickard, who may have been at his best in the first. When he gave him 2, he certainly was great late as well. Glad you joined us here for the second game of the doubleheader here on this Wednesday night before the All-Star break. For Pierre McGuire and the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Strader. The Colorado Avalanche defeat the LA Kings 4-3 in regulation. Stay tuned for NHL Overtime after these messages